What I have for you today is this DeWalt DWS 780 cross-cut saw with a double bevel. This is a very full-featured saw. I'm just learning all the capabilities that it can do. It's got so many adjustments. Seems a little overwhelming at first. I'm going to walk you through the highlights so that you can see that it's a kind of a quick start guide, and you'll be ready to go with this thing right out of the box. So. This thing will cut a 14-inch board because it's got those rails in the back that as soon as you bring your saw blade down to cut, you can now rotate it forward on those rails, and that'll cut a wider board. Also, if you're going to cut crown molding, it cuts a pretty tall board, 6 or 7 inches from the top, if you need to do that, and that's easy to do. Also, it's got this system called a cross-cut positioning, which is basically here, I've got a board where I drew a pencil line where I want to make the cut. And if I put that board on there with that XPS light turned on, it's basically just an LED light. Now you see a second line. That's just the shadow of the blade. And what they've done is pinpointed the position of the blade with using the LED light, so that if I just match up my pencil line with that shadow, then I know I'm going to be cutting in the right spot. So that's a pretty handy feature, that lighting system. Now you don't have a laser that's going to get out of alignment or fail on you, and on and on. So the fences that are included here are sturdy and easy to adjust if you're going to do a bevel cut to get it out of the way. It has the ability to cut on the angles here. You can just quickly rotate it 60 degrees on the right, all the way to 50 degrees on the left. To do cuts like that, it locks in place every 5 degrees. It's got, like I said, some 2x4 extensions here to hold that and keep it steady. You've got these 22.5 degree preset pieces for the bevel. So if I'm gonna do a bevel cut, then that'll land right on that 22.5, and I can do my cuts for my baseboards or for my crown molding. Pivot those out of the way, and you can pivot all the way down to 45 degrees. Lay the saw right down. And then there's also lots of features just to make it easy to work with. If you've got crown molding that you're doing, this lever here will lock the blade in place with enough depth of cut so you can do crown molding, but it won't be rolling back and forth on the rails. So that's kind of convenient there. And then also when you're going to transport it, if you put the blades back into the position, the rails where you want it to be, and just spin this knob here, then you can tighten down, and now the rails won't move. Very simple little twist, and then that does that. Rotating it for the bevel is this here. You just loosen it, and now you can do the turning movements with the saw blade like this. Left and right, like that. And then here, you flip this lever out, and now it'll also bevel all the way over 45 degrees on the right side as well. Whereas typically that's set to 0, where it just goes straight up and down. So overall, there's a ton of features on this saw. They give you the vertical clamp in case you wanted to clamp down a board onto the working surface there. There's a lot of safeties in there. When you turn off the blade, it'll have a brake, so it'll slow the blade down from spinning within about 5 seconds. The trigger itself has a safety in it where you have to flip over this little piece of plastic here. Then you can just press the blade. And then also, there's a position here where you could put a lock. There's a circle there where you can see through there. You could put a small padlock there if you needed to lock the blade out so someone couldn't use this saw on a job site that you didn't want to. So overall, very, very handy saw. Has a lot of features, like I said. You're going to want to definitely tear through the manual on this one. But it's super heavy. It's very stout. It's very well made. There's a lot of good materials in here. This saw is going to last you quite a long time. Hey, I hope the video was helpful, and I hope it was informational to learn more about this DeWalt DWS 780. And as always, I hope you had a great day.